Time now 6:05. Now that more and more businesses are starting to reopen, more people are getting out and about. So how's it looking out there with enforcement of those social distancing guidelines?
Joining us right now via Zoom is Decatur Police Chief Nate Allen. Chief Allen, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well. Thanks so much for joining us. Describe the kinds of calls that you and your force have been receiving about people and businesses as far as like trying to follow the new state guidelines. What are you seeing out there?
So far, things are going very well. There's some confusion out there. I think some folks don't know which businesses are open. Some businesses don't know how to actually keep the 6-foot distance rule, how to enact the rule. So there's some confusion out there, but overall, I think everyone's doing very well.
So walk us through what your officers do when they respond to some of these calls, Chief, about these violations, about people who may just don't understand the health order. What are your officers trained to do to handle these situations?
Our foremost focus is to educate. We try to educate the business owners. We try to educate the public on the new orders. This is going to be a new norm. So this is going to be something new for not only the public and businesses, but for police officers too. So therefore, we have to first educate the citizens on what's expected from them, what the order says.
Chief Allen, the new norm also includes obviously wearing those masks. And we've been saying here on this morning show for the longest time that wearing the mask creates that verbal and nonverbal communication barrier. So how do officers handle that specifically when you go out on these cases?
And that's very challenging right now too. From police perspective, we normally see people in masks who are trying to commit a crime. And now those who wear masks are general public. So that's something for us to get used to, on seeing folks in masks, dealing with people in masks, and staying away from people. Being in police, and we try to become closer to one another. Just our culture itself is a culture of closeness. We get together and we meet, and we shake hands and things like that. So with the mask and the social distancing now, it creates a big barrier. Also, it creates a barrier for our community policing efforts. So it's a new norm, but it's something we have to get used to.
And patience too, right? We all have to be patient as we start to move forward. Understand, Chief, that you have a good supply of that personal protective equipment for your department, but are you constantly restocking your supplies? How long do you have until that becomes an issue?
We do have a good supply, and we are constantly restocking. There's a lot of people out there trying to sell PPEs, and we're in the process of purchasing them. We look for the best deal. Right now, you have to be kind of careful on, and we give this advice to the citizens too. Be careful on where you purchase from. You don't want to purchase something that's not really what it was intended to be. So you want to make sure you get good items. You make sure you get a good price on the items that you're purchasing. So it's something that we have to always be on the lookout for. But we have a very good stock right now, and we continue to resupply all the time.
Chief, appreciate that. Look, all this week we've been honoring National Police Week, all of those fallen officers as well. How should we be honoring these officers, especially given the social distancing restrictions that are out there?
One way to still honor the officers who have fallen and those officers who are currently working and serving, you may want to donate a meal or something to an officer that you may see in a line at a restaurant. You may want to donate a meal to the precinct, to the city hall here. But most of all, if you just say thank you, oftentimes that's good enough. Just saying thank you. And we get those two words from our community quite frequently. And I think the officers really appreciate just hearing the word thank you.
Well, on behalf of Maria and me and all of us here at Way 31, we thank you. Please pass along to your force as well. We thank you for everything you're doing, especially during this time. Decatur Police Chief Nate Allen, thanks for being with us this morning.
You're quite welcome anytime.